Hello and welcome. You've been taught your whole entire life that everything is hard won, especially anything worth having. This contradicts the idioms we hear of ask and you shall receive, usually surrounding religion. We hear phrases also like it's too good to be true, or something would be worth fighting for, or that you just work hard and you'll achieve what you want. And that's all false. It really messes us up, makes us lose security and trust in ourselves. It paints a false image that worth is based on merit and hard work, that those who have are the ones who work the hardest, and that those who have not are those who are laziest and don't really try. This is insanely damaging not only to individuals but to our entire society. This contributes to racism and sexism as well. It's completely intersectional, as entire groups of people are painted as inferior, undeserving, and not valued. And it's entirely false. Sweat equity is bullshit. Here's the truth. Every human is irrevocably equal in worthiness. And that is worthiness of love, abundance, shelter, sustenance, joy, and peace. The universe has more than enough for all of us. The reason that we have these false systems now is because people started to want power over others because they had fallen away from this knowledge. They lost the knowledge of their own inner power, so they started to try and take power by force. Remember the story of Cain and Abel? That is illustrative of this. But you have to drop the religious understanding of this story. You have to read the story from the viewpoint of your soul, not your consciousness, or your body. The soul knows that it is God, or whatever you choose to call the creative force of this universe. The soul knows that it is God, a part of God, that it is indivisible from the whole force of creation. So when you read the story that says that Cain brought an offering that wasn't, quote, good enough, what that means is when Cain was judged, it was by himself. As we are all God, so Cain also is God. Cain judged his own offerings, or gifts in this world, as not enough by comparing himself to the gifts of others, Abel. And in his rage at the feeling of inferiority he created, he set out to have power over Abel. In the story, this acts out by murdering him and then trying to hide the truth of his actions from God himself. Abel was just minding his own business, and Cain was made jealous by his own negative internal views. And of course, we know that Cain would have had that, likely from childhood trauma or something along those lines, but in this instance, in this feeling of inferiority, it came from his own internal systems. So, what happened long ago is some people had this internal inferiority and started to aggressively take power from others, and it began this whole cycle we find ourselves in, where the entire planet is in a constant power struggle on both small and large scales. It is that power struggle that has brought plagues of racism, ableism, sexism, death, destruction, and an imbalance of wealth. It is also that power struggle which has caused all of us to be taught that abundance can only be earned, never freely given. Our ancestors knew better. The ancient Africans from whom we all descend knew better. And you can see as they spread across the globe and became the various groups of indigenous peoples throughout the world that this knowledge continued, albeit changed in the way it was described and understood. But that power struggle began to sweep the world and changed it, and it brought about this dark night of the soul that's lasted for millennia. And it has us in a mental lockdown thinking that things can be too good to be true, and that we don't deserve abundance just because we exist. We believe we can only earn it. That's all false. It really is that easy. And I know that's so hard to believe because we've been taught the opposite. But it really is that easy. You exist, therefore you deserve the abundance of the universe. And as long as we have doubt, then we block ourselves from receiving it. People will say it's naive. They will say it's dangerous to believe that you can receive that easily. And yes, of course, some discernment is necessary. However, this is because the dangers of believing too easily usually comes from other people. You simply need to pay attention to what's being said and what's being offered. And this is especially a case where you trust your intuition. If somebody is supposedly offering you something amazing and seemingly asking nothing or little for it in return, maybe question it. When it comes to just understanding within yourself that the universe will bestow upon you anything you need and ask for, that is where you need to have no doubt. So abundance comes freely from the universe. You can stop telling yourself the only way to have abundance is through backbreaking and demoralizing hard work. Even the 40-hour work week is nonsense. It's been proven unnecessary by not only other countries, but also even by companies within the US, like Kellogg's, who once trialed a shorter work week, did not lose productivity, and the workers gained happiness. So yes, you can ask the universe for whatever you want, and you do deserve it. The universe and the earth provide for us. We don't have to earn our survival or our happiness. That entire notion is beyond ridiculous. Open your mind to the possibilities. Know deeply in your soul that you do not have to fight for survival, that abundance and good things will flow to you, that they do flow to you. Release all of your doubts, especially the ones that say you don't deserve to have everything you want freely flowing to you. The only thing that keeps abundance from flowing to you is your deep-seated belief that it can't, or that reality can't be what you want it to be, because deep down you believe you don't deserve what you want. All of that is false. All of it. It's not that you deserve blessings from God or the universe, it's that you are God and the universe. And you exist in a state of being blessed at all times. It's technically not even a gift, it's you providing for yourself. You allowing yourself to have your own abundance that is already in and around you. It already belongs to you. It's just a matter of seeing it and accepting it. So I need you to close your eyes and whisper these truths to yourself. I am the universe. Separation is an illusion. I am abundant. I am one with everything. Abundance flows to me because I am part of the cycle of abundance. I deserve happiness. I deserve abundance. I believe everyone deserves abundance. Okay, so I just want you to know deeply that it can be that easy. You don't need to seek abundance because you already are abundance. The energy that makes up the entire universe is within you. You are a part of that. We are all a part of that. We are all one thing, one energy. So it makes no sense for us to think abundance is over there or over there, because it's within all of us. There is no lack, because we're all made of the same stuff. So how can we say this thing that's made of universal energy doesn't deserve these things that are also made of universal energy? There's no actual shortage of anything, and I think a really great example of this is how people think diamonds are so rare. They're not at all. Not even remotely rare. And it's funny because at one point a planet was discovered that was like a planet or an asteroid or something that was like solid diamond or something, and everybody's like, oh wow, if we could get that, we'd be so... Honey, we have more than enough on this planet. The only reason diamonds cost so much is because the illusion created by humans that they are rare and that they're even desirable, because that's a fairly recent thing as well. They're rocks, honey. And don't get me wrong, I love crystals and rocks and stones as much as everybody, and I love pretty much all of nature. But diamonds are not worth thousands or millions of dollars. They're just rocks. And there could be one in your backyard and you don't even know it. It's entirely possible. Like many other things in the universe, it is entirely our own perception that creates this idea that something is rare or that there's a lack of anything. There is no lack. There is no lack of food. There is no lack of water. Unless we don't fix the environmental issues, that is actually a thing. But, again, created by mankind. And if we actually work together, instead of against each other, instead of fearing our own lack, we helped other people, we could start to conquer and turn it around and genuinely all have abundance. But also, you remember that story in the Bible where Jesus took some fish and made it into a lot of food for a lot of people? That's manifestation, by the way. That is, in action, the universe providing for its people, because it does exactly that. That's why that story exists, to teach you that lesson. But what people take away from it is that Jesus was that mighty, and they miss the point that we all are that mighty, because we're all the same energy. We are all the same thing. Again, separation is an illusion. So, next time you catch yourself thinking something is too good to be true, or more specifically, when you want to reach for something, like you want a new career, you want a better job, you want to have money for this or money for that, or you want to move or whatever, when you catch yourself saying anything negative about that, like you can't afford it, you can't have it, you don't deserve it, whatever comes up, grab a hold of that thought and throw it out the window. Throw those negative thoughts away. Tell them they hold no power over you, that you are the universe, We are all the universe, and we are all abundant, without end. So until next time, just keep in mind, it really is that easy. I love you all. Goodbye.